it begins. Welcome to the 11th Annual New Orleans Poetry Festival. The secret is out. It is so glad, it's just great to have you here. We got a tight set, we're running a tight ship. You can see a visual cue here. We had to splice together the chalkboard here. Here we go. Splice! Super Splice! And so we're gonna get it started. The first thing you should know, New Orleans, service industry driven city, working class city, tip the shit out of your bartender, okay? Absolutely. Maggie and company are doing good work back there. The other thing, Phil and Heather of Saturn Bar, always thankful for them. This is the final Splice. We've been here for 4.5 years. They've always been sympathetic to the cause. They're the best. And here's the best news. The more you drink, the more NOPF gets in donations because they're going to give us a cut of the bar. So that's right. Anytime you drink more, you're helping us out. So it's a great excuse. And so, well, what else do we need to say? No longer than 2 minutes. We're going to give you the light. We're going to boo. We're going to hiss. Because we got to go. But let's just get on with the show. That's all we got to do. Okay? So kicking things off, we have New Orleans' very own Carolyn Hembry. Which makes a lot of sense, because she, yes, has had quite a hand, a wondrous hand in shaping many of the local poets that went through University of New Orleans. You already know what it is. No intro needed. Let's go.
College of Liberal Arts, in memory of my colleague Frank Shalo. Gamey necks, mustard on bow ties. Our philosophers have been moved to the roof. Poets cleared from the courtyard like phlegm from a throat. The adjuncts jumped off the lakeside balcony and swam to the titillation factory on the North Shore for their graveyard shifts, never to be seen again. Out of an abundance of caution, we don't ask why. University spaces reserved for strategic planning subcommittees to review pre-proposals that align with the mission directorate. I lecture in stairwells. When a student happens by, I call him future professional with a bold growth trajectory. He calls me Teach. I hold office hours nose to nose with francophiles, maestros, and ceramicists in broom closet 712026. Lunchtime, we pull bologna and condiments from our sports jackets to fold into one another's mouths. Delicately, may the egg salad debacle of '08 never be forgotten. Sundown, I read Pisan Cantos graffiti and catch Z's in out-of-order stall 5-3. A roach emerges from a fecal flotilla. Brunhilde, I say. Yes, she says. Why are you always alone, I ask. The enormous tragedy of the dream, she replies, and sucks a line of ants from the toilet rim, no sweat. A raft of workers, soldiers, queens, and pupae is slated to carry off another chunk of seawall before dawn. Seepage under the restroom door. Tonight, when I hear the lake raise its glinting tidelit hammers to the moon, I think of you, Frank, Heidegger guy, our missing hammer in hand. But campus life is busy. We didn't even salute the Stronger Together radar balloon or say the faculty infinity credo in your memory, Vita Longa, Vita Brevis. No. I'm turning in badge 2152546. We drown in ginormous guffaws of blood. Pages slip to the floor. It's the hammer in heart that gets us. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Rodrigo. Yeah, you brought it.
Hey everybody. I'm Clark Bucko. I live here in New Orleans, so I have had the pleasure for the last 4.5 years to know Henry and Rodrigo and Sean, and no better fitting way to say goodbye to Splice. So thank you so much for the past 4.5 years. Thank you for being here tonight. Take it to the mat. Barely lit and soft-edged, many-fingered pet, you will be mine. I'm hung. Let me name you, pin you down. You're so pale, let me put my mouth on you. Everything is hinging, thinking of the big things. 3 hours of inflatable madness, the pube in the throat of the weak. Can we wrestle? Let's work this out. Get in here. I use these words romantically often.
I'm not from here, but I love it here, and I'm so honored to be reading third. This is a found poem called I Learned That From Myself. Things my daughter has said ages 3 to 5 that I have recorded in the notes app on my phone. I am a triangle. I live in the dark and I turned into a snake. I don't have a tattoo, let me check. I don't have any potion and I'm not a mermaid. You made potato salad when I was sleeping. Maybe the clouds are ours, but is it wine? Do you know how to do the wheel cart? In her sleep. You are a raindrop, you are a pineapple, also in her sleep. You just have to press the button. I want to fly like them when I get my wings. I don't want him frogging me. How can a chicken eat her lunch? By eating chickens. Why did the chicken cross the silly umbrella road? Because he got his umbrella family. My heart was having trouble breathing. I thought we were pretend, but we're real. In her sleep. Let's go down here. Let's go down into the water. Pointing to the thermostat, but it's already 3/9/10. Because I love crocodiles. Leaves the room, returns, but only fake crocodiles. Crying on a plane. But I want to see the world. I want to see the whole world. The more the miracle. Rain is like my favorite holiday. Is she becoming a hill? Everyone draw their favorite letter onto your poetry book. You got me the moon. I like screaming really loud, like this. Thank you.
Steen! I know she's here. Let's go, Steen!
Hi everyone. I'm really honored to be here. I will read a poem called Flower Girls. My mother in the forsythia. She is a girl. She is the blossom and the yellow blossoms branching out. She is hiding in there. She is smiling. Someone who loves her is taking her picture. A parent is taking her picture. A girl that is still in her 20s. She is my mother. Inside the frame, a burst of yellow blossoms. Mother peeks through in a pastel blue coat with a pastel pink color. Her face is a flower. She is so young. She is younger than my own age now. She was so young when I was born. In the horizon, the dark evergreens cut the clear blue sky. The sky is a pastel blue. My mother is smiling. She is hidden in the flowers. She has not become lost. She has stepped into the forsythia branches. She has entered the frame for the photo. She becomes a flower, a flower, a flower in flowers. Inside the flowers, I am. They are pink flowers. I don't know the names. It is springtime. I am a baby girl, although it's hard to tell in the photo. I am a flower. I am dressed in pastel blue denim, a denim coat, a dark denim hat. I am not smiling. Someone who loves me is taking my picture. I am in the shady part of the frame. I am hiding in the pink blossoms. I don't know the name of the flowers. I still don't know the name of the flowers. It is springtime. It is still cold. My cheeks are pink. Flowers cover my face. In the photo, the flowers are a pastel pink. In the shade, they become a fuchsia. I am a flower. I am not a flower. I am looking into the camera. I'm looking into someone behind the flowers. Evergreen shrubs peek through. I am in the flowers. I am standing on my own wobbly legs, or someone is holding me up. They are hiding in the flowers. They are hidden in the picture. Flowers hold me aloft. Thank you. Up next is Edgar Garcia.
Everyone, I just got in, and I'm so happy to be here once again, one of my favorite cities in the world, to convene for Splice, which is one of the best reading series in the world. A long time ago, I was taught by my Spanish friends never to say you're gonna have your last drink. You always say, I'm having el penúltimo, the penultimate drink. So I'm not gonna read the last poem in my new book. I'm gonna read the penultimate poem. Is it peremptory to speak in prophecy today? If so, why seek ye still blood relation in musical annotation, i.e., the work of poetry? The light of heaven is spread as to enhearten, and still today there are those who say the earth belongs to us. Syphilis, Rupestrian. It is one thing to live in a cave, another to enslave the light of life's diction to cavernous convictions that say, this skin gives special dispensation. Okay then, burnish what blood you have. El penúltimo. Oh, comment. Thank you so much, everyone who put this together. Let's have a round of applause. I mean, it's amazing. I'm reading a brief part from a very old book called, it's from a series called Metropolis, The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. And just very quickly, in this book, I take aspects of the Roman Empire and update them. And this is an update of Roman baths. 17, rubber ducks. Sunny duck, $3.95. Glow in the dark sunny duck, $3.95. Lifeguard duck, $3.95. Hawaiian duck, $3.95. Baby duck, $3.95. Ball player duck, $3.95. Construction duck, $3.95. Cowboy duck, $3.95. Jester duck, $3.95. Lady duck, $3.95. Duck on the go, $3.95. Original duck, $3.95. Sailor duck, $3.95. Snorkel duck, $3.95. Scuba duck, $3.95. Referee duck, $3.95. Surfer duck, $3.95. Captain duck, $3.95. James Brown duck, $3.95. Shakespeare duck, $3.95. Hippie duck, $3.95. Football and cheerleader duck, $3.95. Stars and Stripe duck, $3.95. Space shuttle duck, $3.95. Uncle Sam duck, $6.95. Dracula duck, $6.95. Betty Boop duck, $6.95. Santa duck, $6.95. Queen Elizabeth duck, $6.95. Groucho Marx duck, $6.95. Blues Brothers duck, $6.95.
Babe Ruth duck, $6.95. Mona Lisa duck, $6.95. Beethoven duck, $6.95. Carmen Miranda duck, $8.95. Thank you.
All right, guys, what's going on? I'm Ben. I just want to say, until last year, I was one of the coordinators for the festival, and a huge New Orleans welcome to everybody coming in from out of town. It is so good to see y'all. So kudos to Splice, kudos to the fest from another great year. Way to kick it off strong. On to the poem. I am currently mapping the state of Mississippi's highways in sonnets. Every highway gets a sonnet. The roads tell their own stories. I've done about 30 of them. At this rate, I'll be finished by the time I'm drawing Social Security, but we'll take it. This is the most recent one. If I can read, I can barely see. This is Highway 25 south from Starkville, Mississippi. There's a part of me that looks like every other highway you've ever seen. Truck stops, backhoes, electrical towers, and cutovers encircling the town. The crows overhead, a prop from some film that never got made. To you, traveler, I am designed to be forgotten. Brown road, brown dirt, brown grass, and trash strewn in the ditch. But there's another story written on my miles. By law, a nearby prison limits your car from stopping for more than a minute, lest anyone hitch a ride. Above me, the pines rise in tall, straight rows, their thick brown lines, a refuge for wildlife to run and hide. A refuge for wildlife to run and hide. Is that? Lauren Burgess.
What's up? Yay, Splice! I'm compelled to read all of this, so I'm gonna do it fast. I step out into the beautiful, horrible day, and it is beautiful because the light is throwing itself at everything it meets. And it is horrible because you are too dead to see it. Though at night, your porcelain lid turns to see the moon. After you died, I told everyone you were an organ donor, and it made me sick and jealous. I said this over and over. I said, if I ever saw someone with your eyes, I'd gouge them out of their skull and eat them on the sidewalk, preferably. And my friend said, I don't think that's how eye transplants work. And I said, I don't know how shit works. See all this death in my hands? I dragged death off a bed and onto the loud floor of a double wide. I pumped death. I poured water on death and made death dandelions. I went to Death City, and all I got was a craving for apple juice and Rob Lowe. And my life has no ceilings now. Everything floats above my head like ash. Oh wait, that's you. My baby's head is blue and spins around like a top. My baby sees things we can't, like daft particles bouncing trampoline off our skin. My baby is a few loose particles, and everywhere is his home. My baby stunk before he burned. We are all a little smelly and get smellier when our tickers blow. My baby stood his chance best as anyone could. The big scooping hand of God is random as a randomizer, random as thrift. Atropos acts crazy with the scissors, that blind snipper. I like the fates and arts and crafts and cleanup crews, voila, all done. My baby's face went yellow. My baby was a genderless baby shower. My baby looked like my baby the entire time I held him. I knew I had to kiss my baby because I knew my baby wasn't gonna kiss me. I held my baby Pearl Precious, and they electrocuted my baby. My baby Buzz. My baby Tick. We're dead to we, faces blue as blue confetti. Okay, so I wasn't there when my baby's face turned blue, but I've been around the block. Once, you told me if you ever had to eat me, you'd start with my chin. Now I know I'd start with your eyes. Yay, Splice! Go, Sean!
I would like to start by thanking the person who came to the most splices, my wife, Valen. Thank you for supporting us, for being here. One poem tonight. Of course, one poem. Huff the sublime. Does a lyric poem lick the state's boot? Each line, a tense soldier stomps about the self. Each metaphor, a flag we salute as we burn it. Is it radical to want tenure, a title, or a tote bag? Is it radical to vape in the faculty office? Poetry as posture, as posture, as posture, as grant proposal. And still, we huff it. The faint musk of transcendence, and name it breath. Thank you. Dylan Krieger up next.
Well, since y'all are retiring, here's my retirement poem. Retirement underwater. After I retire, I'll find midnight and unfold it until all the loose buttons fall out. I'll pry back the past lives of mice from steel traps, light my cigarette on a terrorist attack. I'll scatter the ashes of newly minted money from a hot air balloon over the Atlantic, and a rare breed of sea beast will breach the surface to eat it. I will pretend that I can swim so fast the beaches can't keep up with me, that my remote position mid-ocean is the only reason you can't see me. Except in dreams we blame on bad weed, photos our phones slideshow automatically on the anniversary of any memory. I'd like to retire from the reminder that the pig's head once spoke back to me and now it won't. That the joke I still tell over drinks is one you wrote off the cuff on some road trip we don't discuss. I'll sip frozen liquor from a halved grenade with my tits out after I retire. Dream over, too hot sun dropped in spilled milk, no use crying underwater, but I'll do it anyway, with no oxygen tank. I'll dive down into the surf and come back cured of feelings, singing strange, chipped shells everywhere, echoing my choke-ups in their tails. I will turn into the pig's head and speak back to myself in no language you would understand. I'll tell your joke in new tongues until I don't recognize you in it, and then I will retire even that. I'll look up at long last to no land on the horizon. I'll spread my chapped lips like an atlas, and it will be my turn to laugh.
I'm Roger Kamenetz. This is called After. First of all, yeah, thanks to Sean and Henry and Rodrigo for making this happen. One of the great series that I've ever seen in this town. So thank you. Welcome all to New Orleans. After Lines of Lorca. This is for poet and translator Mark Statman. These are the lines. Y que el mar recordó de pronto los nombres de todos los ahogados. And the sea remembered suddenly the names of all her drowned. While we slept the sleep that sleeps in the sea, we never felt the coral branches' stings or cold anemones that swept our nerves. No sense of all we could not know. Thick dark. High above, stars must have spilt their faint milk. I for one, I for two, I for the many, tumbled over into non-existence like the eons before humans were conceived. When winds whipped shadows and life-giving waters toiled up from prisms of granite and quartz, the epochs Beetles covered their frail wings. Bees invented honey, and flowers, bees. We slept without dreams, believed in our deaths, till the sea woke us suddenly to names. We rose to the call of them as images behind a dreamer's eyes, to a poet's tongue, washed through his mouth. Our names remained intact, still wrapped in all the brilliant days we'd lost.
Andy Gutman Gonzalez.
Thank you to Splice. Thank you to all of you for being here. This is a poem about a hungry witch. Confession of Sarah Good, Hungry Witch, March 1, 1692. So, not wishing to be God's fright, I had myself coppice hid. But just as hunger coerces cornered rabbit to wolf jaw, I've seen myself around from door to door, where bystanders say byes with earth stalks, rain spit, rain rocks in my direction. Ready am I to confess my hunger. Oh God, have mercy on this humble corpse, which flattened low by desperation, partook of the following mischiefs. Myself turned into a rabbit and ate my neighbor's lettuce. Myself turned into a snake and devoured my neighbor's hen eggs whole. Myself turned into a little girl and sucked on the teats of my neighbor's cow and drank till full. Myself turned into a ram, mounted my neighbor's sheep, and took the extra lambs. Myself turned into a pail and slurped my neighbor's butter as I churned. Myself turned into a goat and ate my neighbor's horsewhip like jerky. Thus I pass my hunger unto my neighbors, who call me unsavory, though I taste of their groceries.
All right. This is just a poem for my wife. Mary Weiss from the Shangri-Las died last week in Palm Springs, and in New Orleans you played Train from Kansas City real loud and read a review of the Women Dressing Women exhibit at the Met, and worked and made lunches, and the house was a mess and you smelled like patchouli. You told me women with pockets were once thought witches. I thought of all your pockets and how I'm probably misinterpreting Sylvia Plath. Then a Slater-Kenny album so good, it made me feel useless by comparison. Like I'm crawling through a garden of carnivorous plants, skeleton trees. I was useless during childbirth. All I remember is my mistakes and you in pain. So I apologize for failure, for history and culture with a capital C. If I read the tale of Aristotle and Phyllis as reflecting medieval anxieties, but also the fluidity of power, I feel a little better about the men who call you ma'am, the men who marvel at your opinions like you were the horse who could do math. I want to find you at the end of every forest, out in every meadow. Then I will scrub the floor to make up for all the times I did not, to make up for patriarchy and capitalism. I will pay for the privilege of cleaning your house. Good you, Diva.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you, everyone who makes space for poetry without pulling a paycheck. May this lyric poem not lick the boot of the state too much. Reverse mimesis. The apology went something like this. Gaudi died looking at his own damn building. Difficult not to compare the heart to, well, anything, really. The small white flowers are everywhere. They splinter, then splinter again. I wonder if vulnerability isn't entirely compromised. Just yesterday, someone posted a story about people who've jumped off the Golden Gate and lived. The sun rises, everything goes on looking iconic. There was something, they said, about the sudden allure of problem solving in midair. Duration is crucial in such circumstances. At the precipice, it's more about flight than anything else. That first night in your father's flat, I made a comment about the window. It's great for suicide, you coo. I laughed and called you my little Deleuze. The point is, a man becomes unkempt, disheveled first by love, then politics, later light. The heart flutters away or is arrested in photomontage. Oyster. A tram strikes the architect on the Grand Via de la Cour Catalane on his way to confession. Oustaban, he'd taken 2 steps as if to avoid it. People who see the accident think he's a beggar. No one takes him to the hospital. What I'm trying to say, love, is it isn't ultimately about hubris. There's this collective turning of the head. A doctor came, then went, cleared his throat, and said there was nothing he could do. I imagine, in lieu of a certain future, a passerby muttering a few choice phrases. Estarás bé. They say the same thing, the signs above the bay. No one believes them. Until, I guess, they jump. I crack a stem from the sidewalk and suck. The seeds scatter, the sea roars, the bridge sways in the wind. Who, then, to forgive, given the degradation of living, of having lived? Anton? Sometimes someone takes you somewhere to die. Other times you take yourself. I don't need to tell you this. In the mornings, you'll open your father's window, then read the news in 3 languages. The sun rises, it says, crisis exacerbates, state of emergency is declared. The policemen of the world raise their baton mid-air. In Barcelona, once again, the Gran Via está bloquejat. Libertad, the people are shouting libertad. Meanwhile, grayish plumes scale the horizon like bleached coral. In Oakland, too, the sky erupts. A building goes on being built. Welcome to your first intermission. Tip your... No? Sorry. Anthony? Down. Alina, you're next. Pardon.
Splice.
Alina! Splice! Alina!
Not here.
How many seconds do we give it? Alina's not.
Laura, how are you?
Laura!
Yay!
Hey, I'm just gonna remove the poem from my purse. Thank you so much to the Splice reading series for existing. The Splice was the series that made me realize that there was something really special happening in poetry in the South at this historical time. And Rodrigo and Sean and Henry have just been incredible hosts. So thank you so much to them. This poem is called Ritual 2, Mirror. In the days of enclosure, anything is a door. Each living room pulsing, held in the force field of the screen. Sitcoms, syndicated, sponsored content, sports, nonstop war. In some houses, a large mirror is placed near the screen, which make the windows shimmer sharp like an artificial lake, and the residents doze while the room levitates, but none of these doors will take you outside. We're here in holding to be kept safe from the violence we distributed and forget the hard pleasures. Sunrise broken open against row home roof matchbox town, still and stretched before us, yoked in egg tempera, dripping with light leaking it, like orange juice dripping off the edge of a table.
But now there is no possible dawn, and the terror accretes in our teeth, becoming music, television, and film. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi. Everybody doing okay? Can you hear me? Great. So I'm gonna read just if this phone has any energy left in it. This is the first half of a poem that I wrote for my son. His name is Othello, which is a heavy name. I didn't give it to him. I'm like, sorry. And weird questions he asks me about life, which I can never answer. And some of these are true and some of them are. I wrote this when Marianne Faithfull had died, so some of them, like Marianne Faithfull, leaks into Othello's language. Anyway, so this is the first half from 2 poems for Othello. My son asks me if I have ever been black. Asks me if I have ever been homeless. Asks me if I have ever seen God's face. Was it surrounded by butterflies? Was it ugly? Were the teeth made of gold or silver? My son asked me if I've ever been to Los Angeles. Asked me if it was made of silver. It was built by angels. Asked me if angels have teeth. Asked me if they whisper to me at night, if they smash mirrors at night, if they can have babies at night. My son asked me if angels are black. Asks me if I've ever dug a grave. If I dug it with a silver spoon. Asks me if I have ever been poisoned, if he has ever been poisoned, if he can have babies. Asks me who drives by our house each night in a loud car, its headlight flooding his room. My son asks if he can eat roses. My son asks if I would eat roses for him. Asks me if I will ever leave him. Asks me about his biological mother. Is she poisoned? Is she alive? Does she live inside a car? Does she walk around with a revolver in her suitcase? Is she lonely? Is she safe? Is she angry? My son asks me about my heart. Does it ever break? Does it ever drown in fury? Does it ever want to destroy itself? Asks me if his biological mother is furious. Does she watch TV? Does it burn her eyes? Does she live on blood? Will she consume me with her fury? Is she black? My son asked me if I have ever been to the desert. Was it very warm? Will I ever go there? Will my biological mother be there? Will she consume me? Will she bring a revolver in her suitcase? Will you drive her in a car? My son asked me if I have ever ridden on a horse. Was I scared? Was the horse? My son asks if I have ever stolen money from kings. Asks me if I have ever hit a television screen with a hammer. Was it made of silver or gold? Asked me if I have a silver ring on, asked me why I have a silver ring on my finger. Asked me what a spine is. Asked me about his dreams. Who the person walking through the desert is. Why is she surrounded by birds? Do crows live in the desert? My son asked me about horses. What is a stampede, he asks. What kind of teeth do they have? How do they sleep? Are their shadows made of gold? Do their branches break if you step on them? My son asked if the snow can cover up the night. Asked me if horses can survive in snow. Asked me about his breast cage. Asked me about his spine. Asked me about the hooves of horses. Asked me about photographs of horses, biological horses. Asked me about stampede. Asked me about horses. Asked me about the slaughter of cattle. Asked me if I will ever leave him. Asked me about horses. Asked me when I will die. When will you die? Will you die in a car? Will you die in a hotel room? Will you be alone? Will I give him my money? Will I give him my little black book of poems? Thank you.
small one, so there's not enough time to steal my seat. Shout out to Rodrigo, shout out to Henry, shout out to Sean, shout out to everybody except my ex. Spring comes and I finally throw out the last flowers I bought you. Condemned to the kitchen counter, radiated by the heartless Louisiana sun, so dry they bloomed into a fire hazard. It's been weeks, it's been months, it's been seasons. Even the ants who army crawl under the window after rain have stopped exploring those morbid petals. Even the trash can gags as they crumble into dust in its maw.
Hi everyone, I'm Kaynes. Thank you so much to Splice. Coolest reading series. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna read about one poem. It's called Flowers. Flowers. Each part is a simple thing, better or less. Final surface. Box that sounds like its head. I needed to take it apart to take care of it, the Roman marbles wearing their miserable faces. I think I might need less than other people do of this. More of something else, something worse. Crossed by 1,000 ideas of shadows, the figure of little Pearl is edged in light. A grass that opened its eyes beneath me. Of my loves, few know me. In light, the grass will open, purple eyes, white eyes, the feeling that one must begin again, each part better or less. A final surface revealed as a box. In my care, there was also a wish to destroy what had been made, crossed by the shadow of many ideas. The miserable faces of Rome in marble. Returning to a room concentratedly of my loves, the grass will open its eyes in light without knowing. Named blue-eyed grass, white blue-eyed grass, flower, star, hedge, border, grass, of parts in their own nature are difficult, resistant to touch, easily destroyed, each a better part or less resistant to its destruction as it enters the whole. Of whom it loosely, to whom it loosely, neither of these. Each part in itself is simple. Thanks. Next up is Christy Maxwell.
Great poems from everyone. I'm so happy to hear them. Too bad those people in that room are not hearing them. But I'm really happy to hear them. Also, thank you to Splice. It is such a great series, and thanks to the New Orleans Poetry Festival. It's the best time of the year. I look forward to it. And this is an ode to the sleepwalkers, but a puppet. Woke to shower sounds not at shower time, and found no showering body, but a puppet of sleep, performing satiation in the kitchen with a tray of dehydrating meat. Aimed to be well-hearted but failed, made petty by rage, and too long tutored to be allergic to largeness. Having seen pedestrians mistake a swarm of termites for machine-blown bubbles, having seen glee shift to disgust, considered the limits of perception, knew of one seeking the deep V who opened the window and fucked the night, though could find no proof of it when proof was later sought. Saved, then unsaved the cancer meme upon realizing it was disease-related, not astrological. Aimed to be a jungle gym of joy, but everyone's arms were broken, so I remained pretty useless. There was no more talk of healing. There was no more thought of it. And now we are at our first intermission.
Thank you, everyone that's read so far. All right, we're taking a tight 10. Listen, hold on. You got to listen to me. We're starting right at 8. I didn't want to be the poetry police. ACAB all day, baby. Hey, front room, you got to shut the fuck up a little bit. You do. We can't hear. Go outside. The whole idea of the buffer room. If you're being loud and boisterous, more power to you. That means you're giving money to the bar, you're giving money to us. But go the fuck outside, okay? All right, see you in 10.
Yeah. All right, everybody, let's start it up. I want to remind the readers to talk into the mic because it's kind of loud in here. Also, readers, please, after you finish reading your poem, look at the chalkboard here and say the name of the next person that's coming up to the mic. All right, so here we go. Let's start it off with New Orleans' own Bill Lavender.
Hi, can y'all hear me? I would really love to yell at the other crowd like Henry did. Go for it. If you tell me you can't hear me, I will. What? Hey, you in the front! Hey! Hey! This is a sensitive little poem. I need silence, okay? All right? If your neighbor is talking, I want you to raise your hand and point to him, okay? So I have this new book called City of God, and it's about 1,200 little poems, and each time I give a reading, I read the next one. So that's what this is. The poem that never got written, forgotten as soon as it was thought, like a tuft of marsh grass uprooted in a storm, now floating freely on the waves. Thanks. Announce yourself. I was supposed to announce you.
No problem. For the legendary Bill Lavender. My name is Anthony Sutton. I just want to say that I loved reading in the Splice Poetry Series, and I love every time I come to New Orleans, and I love the community I've gotten to know here. This poem is called Some Days I Am More Ghost. Some days I am more ghost than word. You flinched while we sat at the patio table of your favorite gay bar as I denigrated it. Bastion of men, cisgender hellscape, the perpetually hung Christmas lights should have flickered as I spoke, but instead there was the swift response you gave the bartender. I'll take both tabs. Most days I am more anarchist than sex object. Female Trouble by John Waters played on your laptop. I dozed off with Aunt Ida's best line, the life of the heterosexual is sick and boring, in my floating thoughts. It's not just the heterosexual, I'm expected to be more of a man than a person. Moments ago, I kissed you for the final time. Think of it as an archive to prove that yes, I was here, and though I was not what I was when we met, I still was. Up next is Olga Miko Livna. Sorry, I butchered your name.
All right, thank you, Anthony. I'm Olga Nikolaevna, and I wrote this poem. I've been writing sonnets. This is a sonnet that I wrote when I was here in November. Got giddy drunk, was feeling in love with everyone and everything, my life, saying soft, tremendous things. Freeway not afar, bird chirping in opposition to or in discordance with its rush and hum. Maybe it's harmonious, the crow, the elevated highway gyrating, euphonious to the morning's shadowy demeanor, slowly entering the sphere of the first floor apartment. Somehow what I do has tonnage, weight, and a seriousness. Somehow the TV's unplugged and spatially the light keeps harping outside, a hazy filled down gold, a rising train. I am impervious, sometimes delusional, and overall unmasked. What exactly does a deceitful heart open? Asks Ariana Rhymes. I ask this too, though not of myself. My heart is not always open, but it is consistently earnest and a mock. I admire the tight-lipped women, prim with Protestant sensibilities, whose emotions, hidden motives, unbeknownst. There seems to be an elegance to them. Maybe what I search for is elegance, not puritanical afflictions. Cyclical in action, parenthetical vows, light infatuations, and the performative nature of knowledge, surfacing facts, a conundrum of schooling, first dates, dewdrop. Thank you, Erica Hodges.
I'm so grateful to the Poetry Festival for bringing all my friends here, and I don't have to do anything. They're just all here in my city. I am in a room of severed heads painted to look like maps and beatings. None of them are my lover. I have some pictures of you, ones that would fit with the slow recline of fine art, ones that have appeared to me in the shadow shows and dreamscaped moods. A silent crooning, the work done to make your body real in silver. I hurt thinking of those hordes moving through you. They might see the grief deep in the non-lines of your face. They might see the awkward grace with which your wrists extend, and they may comment softly on this to each other. This is not what pains me. You take simple pleasure in exposing yourself like this and hiding like that. It is that they might say, oh, this artist must love them. This art must have been so propelled by them. This love, oh, is there a more crass destiny for sincerity than exhibition? Is there a more hopeless fate than to be reduced to my clean and open ardor? Some ship is being constructed on the balcony in the city with no real estate, a vessel for the good animals. To say so with one own's mouth, you are not a placeholder, but I am waiting. I know this, and still I take the photograph. What does an overextended wanting do to the lens? And of the silver, the lacquer, the gallery, the people in the murmured huddles, photos of my photo, a yearn in empty rooms. But when you say you love the ocean, you mean you love the shore. And I know this because when I speak of vastness, you do not call or come over. You wait until it's over to visit, until my never-endingness is back under the covers. Clear coast, easily accessible beaches, all the way down. Gabrielle Octavia Rucker.
Thanks to Splice for being here for so long and for Henry for squeezing me in. I'm going to keep it very short, very sweet. I write like I fuck, with the steady grace and understated wit of a pickpocket. Effective, predictive, studied, and voyeuristic. Every body before culminating towards yours, then careening away to the next practice. Next. Monica De La Torre. Thanks.
Hey! Yeah, everywhere I look, it's like, hey, you're here! So great.
Hi, everyone. Hey. It's really good to be here. Thank you, Henry, Sean, and Rodrigo for infusing so much energy to your poetry, our poetry, and for the space. So I have a little, a prose poem that's like an elegy to the poems that escape the page.
Atmospherics, an essay. Most of my time spent not writing. Lack is not attributed to a fault of the imagination, but to the opposite. Thoughts surplus, rushing to the fore prior to the moment the right hand comes into contact with the surface on which the inscriptions may occur. To start the water flowing, push the bottom gear-shaped knob up like a joystick, then rotate for hot and cold. The further away the hand is from said surface, the more vigorous the synaptic activity in the prefrontal cortex. Except for the theremin, few instruments are so consistently described as producing the eeriest of sounds. The competition between ideas issuing forth like sinister melodies and vying for attention becomes furious. Seemingly, they bear traces of their extrasensory production. It's as if they feared that if they escaped notice, they would perish as soon as the hand reached for the contrivance meant to capture them. Once actual transcription begins, the surge comes to a halt almost completely, and the process becomes regulated by a different neural mechanism. The manipulation of electromagnetic fields along antennae might appear casual and even spontaneous, yet achieving desired pitches and tones requires infinitely more precision than one might imagine. The visions come in a hypnagogic state, which is at its most fragile when turning on the light and reaching for the writing instruments. Carroll knew about lucidity's inhibitions too and attempted to remedy the situation by inventing the nyctograph. It has been argued that no other instrument requires such control of the body by a performer, which is one of the reasons why its lucrative potential failed to materialize, to its inventor's utter disappointment. Elegies to shadow remain to be written. Emergency chords are not yet connected. Thank you. Elise C. Trump.
Hello, Last Splice. Hello, New Orleans. Good to be back. You have so many good birds here. This one is after the Bruegel painting Fall of Icarus, but it takes place before. And it's called Spotting Through a Field Glass. Not yet sun fell, boy and man, a pair of distant, near birds. Could be hawks to a sky pointed field glass. Odd turns. How upon spotting does the seer hold a pair of odd turns within this pinhole sight? It drowns the eye, dizzying blue, the most blue a sky could ever hold. Thank you. William Hazard.
Thanks so much for having me, and it's been wonderful hearing everyone, and it's a very energized atmosphere. It's great to be a part of it with you all. I know we have 2 minutes. I'm going to try to make it in and out in one. This is a very short poem. It's called 7-Eleven. Lapsing magister cases later what hot problem serves. Tastes burnt, leaks pithy lean. Wall ream fear, felled last purse caps. Surly horse jam, soma, forearms, perfect, nestle, frack. Thanks. And Andy Young, is that me?
I definitely could not be in a room this crowded right now if it wasn't filled with my own species. Thank you, poets and Poet Aligned, for existing here, and thank you, Sean and Henry and Rodrigo, for creating a space for us to gather. Total loss. The fire becomes a garden and it blooms. It winds its vines around each beam and strut. From peak to piling, it tendrils through. Flames spear to sky, pierce a gibbous moon. Smoke seals each window's house mouth shut. The fire becomes a garden and it blooms. A swell of gas, a rose's face, then boom! Fire bigger now than the house it guts, peak to piling. Our house burns through to its orange bones. Soon, ash and coal. Metal will survive, but not much else. The fire's a fetid garden, how it blooms. Was that the kitchen? Was that our room? Hers? His? What even is this? Peak? Piling? Floor fallen through? This was a house last night, where we laid our heads and shut our eyes, dreaming of our blooming lives from peak to piling. That time is through. Steph Russell.
You guys are so cute with your dangling legs. I just wanted to say that. I think we just need to start with 3 cheers for the Splice guys. If you will repeat after me. Okay, 2 whoops is juggalo, hello. 3 is just like cheering. I wrote a ghost poem for the first Splice reading I did. It's too long to read, so I'm reading my miniature ghost poem tonight. It's called Graceland. The tinted photograph of Elvis at the foot of the stairs is a haunted object. The smoked glass panels along the stairs function as portals. Ghosts come and go through the drain of the pink sink in Gladys's bathroom. Ghosts travel through the smoked glass mirrors over the fireplace, and spirits throw the motor of the sunburst clock on the mantle. Visitors report hearing disembodied taps or snaps, like a twig breaking, like a little dry stick combusting in a campfire. People see dark figures in the screen of the old surveillance TVs in the kitchen. People who know these things say there's too many mirrors in this house, too many old TVs, too many old telephones. They say something's up with the old breaker switches. Something's up with that old rotary phone in Vernon's office. They don't know why Elvis's white grand piano is free of residual energy, but they say the mirrored ceiling running above the basement stairs functions as a sort of spirit highway, and the TVs in the basement are portals. That the mirrored coffee table is a portal, and that's why the white ceramic monkey sitting on that table is a haunted object. That the pool room has a residual haunting, energy from some boozy agreement playing over and over like a broken record. They say there's too many flowers planted on the grounds of Graceland, that all the people and all the flowers together create a shrine-like energy at Graceland. That the shadow thrown by the eternal flame on Elvis's grave is a haunted shadow, but it's not a shadow haunted by Elvis. They say it's the hiding place of an egregore named Igor Presley, and that's who lives in this house now. Thank you very much.
Just wanted to say grateful thanks goes to Sean, Henry, and Rodrigo. Long live Splice. I'm going to be reading from Brillo. Inside is box body, inside is worm-like eye, Brillo-shaped reliquary, time-consuming manufacture. The inside is crude with soap flake, boxed-up life, a box-worn life, undecorated, no signature, no date, deposition, no mistaking decomposition, no image is secure. There is only replication and questions of human remains. Boxes leave everything to the imagination. Brillo-shaped block, fragment of life, locked behind a window, artifact of devotion. In the hair growth darkness, in the Brillo soil, new life forms 100-fold, fingers and hair, hands bearing fruit 100-fold. Burial is a part of life. A life is something branded, everything filtered through your eyes, whether seed or bone, your eyes. Thank you.
All right, I have 2 minutes. We're gonna do just mix it up for y'all, a participatory sound poem. Everyone, let's see, from here over, we're gonna go splice, 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 splice. No, sorry, not like a cheer, more like a oocha, 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 oocha. It's a dance track. So splice, splice, splice. Okay. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, but like you're surprising us. Surprise. Fuck. No wait, it's upbeat. Fuck ice. Fuck ice. Can't hear you up there louder. Fuck ice. A little louder. Oh, we need some oocha. There you go. My dildo, my vibes, I got all my supplies. My dildo, my vibe, ready? You guys keep going. Slowly down, Jesus. I don't have, okay. Thank you. The next is Rodrigo to Scott.
The reading series. Peek at the screen. It's 2050, where they spent their youthful years, a Bronze Age. There was a bar, an old vocab, someone. The street looks about the same, a public. It's a reading, it's a demo, it's them. The problems of diction, a Silver Age. That building wasn't. New Nation was born, where they spent their last years. A vocab shift. Minor truths still roam the alleys. All smiles. Here's the pivot point. No, here's the launch point. It wasn't about you. A golden age. There's always another bar. Nation croaked. How'd it go? Who was there? Who rattled what? Alongside generations of striped cats.
Okay, I'm gonna hunch over this thing.
Asshole.
Thank you, Rodrigo, Henry, and Sean, and Saturn Bar, thank you so much to Splice. You have been amazing. I don't think I can read that short. Can you all hear me if I do this? Yes. All right, I'll just kind of lean. All right. So this is hung like a donut. Lady parts, you mean not the cunt, but the inner great clockworkings of mystery and science. Though I do love the word cunt. That hard swoop feel on the tongue. And its place absence in language, what we mean cunt, is immediately wide-ranging, and the word I didn't use on the phone a long time ago, 20 years at least, when that was a thing, when I'd been packed without any sense of celebrity. And the results came in. I was in France, and I answered that long-distance phone call, and I said to the doctor's secretary, transatlantic static, earnest in my panic, I said, am I gonna die? And even now, I am amazed indeed that she did not say, yeah, baby, you're gonna die. Instead, no, maybe because her mama had taught her that sometimes you have to take those rabbits out of a hat and present them to people. She said, no, you're not gonna die. So I want to report to you 2 surgeries, and 2 decades later, I am still standing and I am eating this particular buttermilk drug. And I have to say, it is something like a miracle, so far as it goes. And that secretary was right. The lady parts haven't killed me yet. But what I understand is she meant yet. She meant what she was saying silently is not yet, my love. Not yet. Next up, Joshua Adams. Thank you.
How are we doing? How are you? I'm doing just fine. Missing the forest for the forest. Everything useful had been requisitioned to suppress the rebellion in the laboratories. Researchers were assembling ready-mades out of funnels, burners, and flasks. And nakedness like that, sometimes it's enough to make people pause. Police called headquarters and asked for the chief art historian in residence. There might be something to save in the decor. The chief convened a committee formed in the wake of the last insurrection, but the committee, saddened by their experience with the recent restoration, did not know if they had permission to give. I lingered over your letters, picking stray threads of twine, appreciating the steep angle of ink on the envelopes, the scent of paste and raked grass. Opening one, I found a brownish outline of a flower with its bouquet of dust and read, as there was a timbre of those lacquered chests in which the bridal dress and veil will wait, as one might recognize on the wall of a painting of an artist's studio, a still life by that same artist, merely by a dash of color and line within color and line. So there is a quality of red that was not the red of blood or rust, but simultaneous to each, living, unliving, in this I enclose. I would have read this letter to the meadows and streams. I would have read it to the confessors and the confessants. It would have been enough to wake that self who appears sometimes as a walk-on in the film we watch alone each night. But the dogs were beginning to bark, and besides, you asked me to burn them all. The buses were running, though few knew for how long, and they were crawling with eager caricaturists. Here, on the floor of the bakery, it was better to lie still, covered in sugar and flour, and wait for morning. Thank you. Next up is Danny Unger. Danny Unger.
Splice, I love you.
We love you, Danny!
I'm gonna read a newer poem and take this mic off the stand because I like to move around. Simulation Ashley. I took a job pretending to be a patient. Didn't expect it to be so lonely. Sitting upright on the exam table like a specimen, I flinch each time a disembodied voice bleeds through the intercom. Prepare for your next student. A future doctor enters, pumps the hand sanitizer dispenser. Hello, Miss Holland. I stare past her at blue latex fists printed on glove boxes attached to the wall. You can call me Ashley. I'm jaded by the procedure of playing Ashley, embodying a case study for $25 an hour. Each shift, I Ashley 6 times for young, nervous geniuses. In the fake exam room, everything is standard replica. Sterile white surfaces are trapped in harsh overhead light. A brown final table lined with paper that crackles into the void before performance. I cross and uncross my legs, yield my introductory line. I'm just here for my regular checkup. My daughter pushed me to make this appointment. I'm Ashley, a married Christian mother of 2. I'm a science teacher, a homeowner, and crucially, I'm terrified of mammograms. Ashley and I, 2 models of the adult human woman, wildly different factory settings. Ashley, the wholesome heterosexual, birthed 2 adult daughters before age 30. Yet she's treating a mammogram like it's a root canal. Instead of blaming the author of the script, I'm blaming the fake victim. Ashley and her fear of cancer, her fear of a doctor finding something that balloons into avoidance. Fear is where I resonate with her the most. I too fear death, not of a tumor's invasive strangle, but life's theater dimming slowly into static. Thank you. Next up, the one and only M.A. Nicholson.
What a historical evening. Yeah. There's a season for everything, but I want to thank the Splice boys for growing this garden. Because we are not dust in the wind, we are seeds in the wind. A little bit of that. I have a poem here. What do I have here? It is down there. Okay. This is like a quadruple ekphrastic poem. That begins with a photograph of Oscar Wilde, gets turned into a really incredibly offensive homophobic editorial, which then is turned into a really racist photograph, and then is reappropriated by Robin Cost Lewis in Voyage for the Sable Venus. And so this is after The Wild Woman of Aiken. And the first line starts off with the last line of her poem, Dandy's Wild. You cannot prevent us from casting sunflowers to seed at the fence, hedging a border trap crop for diamond-backed stink bugs, purple mustard greens, thick, unruly at our feet, sheltering snail orgies, orange leaf-footed nymphs are welcomed. We cast your brocades aside, slip shoes off at the door, dig the clay deep where the water table rises, spin earthen vessels. Our voices are sitting in the open glow of swelling night shades in rows. Keep your corn, keep your measures. This spring you'll find only broken vases and gates flung rusted against your march. May we leave the dried invasives under no one's watchful eye. Fill them with eager, fill them with spicy radish harbored by pickling cucumber vines, okra welcoming the sugar ants to our west, a million underfoot. We don't bury our dead, we house them behind welded iron, curling, still listening. Dark welcomes what has always existed. You try, but you can never stamp our abundance. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Henry. There must be some practical theatrical explanation for all this.
If we're all standing for some kind of anthem, aren't we head over heels across the board? If I'm thinking correctly, isn't every move we make boneheaded? Yeah, sure, the stats shine down certified pre-owned, but if you connect the god dots how you want, isn't that your name in the stars? Thank you.
Alex Jason.
Thank you, Henry. Short context, short poem. I get called for these typewriter poet gigs. One was at the Mardi Gras World Mansion, which, if you don't know, is a indoor venue replica of a plantation era home. Ew. I talked to one of the bartenders. I was like, "What's this event for?" And they're like, "Oh, it's like an office party for Entergy." So I wrote this while trying not to talk to people who work for Entergy. It is the Disneyfication of the antebellum South on Entergy's dime. So my dime, as I was told, can we put this away with a gesture towards my tip jar? We could live off-grid, unregistered, and not pay our bills, but I'm obsessed with city hellscapes and owing private companies who pirate public goods. I'm obsessed with finding flowers where they shouldn't be, like overmowed battlefields and inside a restaurant growing on fake plastic trees, unseasoned and climate controlled, with a penchant for too cold. Wealth is over air conditioned while modernity just gets hotter. Thank you. Up next is Mia Kane.
My name is Mia Khan. Thanks. Love Splice. Love the Poetry Fest. Okay, so the Sixers beat the Magic in the play-in last night. That's right. And after Andre Drummond hit a corner three on our way to winning the game, the fans in the arena started chanting, "We want Boston," because that's who we're going to play. So this poem is called "We Want Boston." We want Boston, the arena chants, when what we really mean is that the court lives out of time. What's once past might yet come again, and only the insane would want to know this. An organ not proven to have a purpose can still pose a threat. We call that the regular season. Only days out of surgery, the martyr casts his eyes upward. Tied to a tree, an arrow through his neck, Saint Sebastian looks up at the Jumbotron. Andre Drummond drills a repeat three. I don't want to understand forgiveness, a fate worse than hope. When Rosencrantz and Guildenstern were sitting there, they asked each other, how many sightings does it take to make a unicorn real? Let's never find out. Our very devotion might be vestigial, appendix to a prior text. To blame a curse is to say a prayer. If I call you, or don't call you, my enemy, it won't be over. Thank you. Next up, Stella Corso.
Did you happen to bring the girl reduced to a dog with the accuracy of guilt? She suddenly knew what she needed, whipped around, the result a glorious snag, imprint of a triangle rimmed with thigh, a bigger slap for the knotting together of body and lights, with flimsy authenticity, stripes on a loose chair. Then came a wave flung frozen mid-path. To say they had been caught clutching hands was somehow aggressive, even given how she had freely passed. Also, they were up to no good, staring at the cheap bottom squatting, combed her hair feeling suspicious, noticed how she slipped out quietly. Padded in the effluvia of her illness, she had a very wide 3-inch hem, enough to make even a horse drool, dragging it absurdly behind her on the floor, hobbled away on her golden era hips. The dream was realistic in that it took effort to effectively cock the gun, arrived on the scene and there was jizz all over. The sentimental kind which requires a special cleaner, except it hadn't been invented yet, got pounded on a couch where she sharpened her littlest toe into a shiv. The crux of her shapeless rage swallowed most of her head, but the neck was something to be admired. Once extended to its full length, a mere replica of her fuck. And when had she ever truly put her neck out for anyone? And what about the neck extender that she purchased in vain?
My dear friend Cameron Lovejoy.
Yes, stop. My name's Cameron. Hi. I have entered. We have entered. Thirsty inertia, misery kitten. I have missed some, alas. We have missed some together and go gather, and we hear it, the mish. In the midst of all this mishmash, this here, a massive Cadillac, interred potato, unearthed and mashed, our good potato, and so it is. It is our mission, our tripped up trip around the text block. It is our mission to enter into a new place, to inter place, into a grave with bouquet of spliced DNA and A&D and ampersand paper the shit out of it. Dismissive this, we inter, mishmash, a few ions floating around. Potato behavior with 2 belts, 4 years and 3 boys, to enter the interred, the graven image and its mansion. Now we enter the final intermission.
Crescent 9 just hit, so I feel silly, but I have a serious poem, so I'm gonna try to get through this. All right. And I'm suddenly become a poet who reads from his phone. When afforded the choice. You have turned away for too long to a life you cannot bear to watch, or have gazed at deathless, devouring everything from the air inside little one's lungs to the Jaffa orange groves that once sipped sun, and yet have dealt rounds of indifference like a casino. Today is August 21st, 2024, and earlier, while at brunch, you swiped past footage of a Palestinian man, possibly my age, brandish a boy whose skull was deboned from an Israeli precision strike. Was it his own son's head, reduced to the pink, slick side of the face flapping against a not yet adolescent chest? An unripe length of life, littered in real time, become receipt of our tax-backed brothel of agony. As a matter of fairness, I weaponize the specifics. It's too late to leave them unread. Now choose again.
All right, everybody, so that concludes the second set. We're going to have a hard 10-minute break. Let's give another round of applause for our
No, the poets have earned it. It's a 15-minute break and we're starting at 9. Good job, second rounders. See you in 15.
It's 9 p.m. We're ready for the third set of Splice! The final Splice! Ah! Hey, Riggy. Are you ready? Are y'all ready? All right. Please welcome Courtney Bush.
Hi. All right. A real talking scroll. Nostalgia for horizons is natural. The line going without end, much like the thread you sense lashing you to the field, becomes part of the long story coming from Nina's open mouth. The pickpocket and Italian gushing blood. Nina stands in the open mouth of the goal where a child has gotten his feet tangled in the fluorescent orange net. She wasn't well. She hated chemistry, so left the school, left her country, a longing for the open field, a junkyard full of busted out boats, natural too, the wish to fill this horizon, to invite figures onto the stage, a clean place. Other children ran toward the river as if they'd heard something you could not. 3 helicopters overhead and heartbreak behind it, hidden in Nina's story. Between the soul and the gray, behind the soul. You ran too. No peace of mind to begin with. There is no break from the world. I mean the habitable one, not the one singing. Minimalism, I don't know her. She's not from here. I see St. Catherine as a chain, a little chain going on. You think the worst a love can do, I mean a love threaded in so deep you were each other. Suddenly they leave and do something that surprises you for someone else. The little chain, you thought you had both ends, but you do it too. You change. You hate yourself for changing. Children return. The train rolls over the big green river 60 times a day. Don't make the big mistake seeing confusion as significant without seeing order is a singing too. Little chain, you ask if love is enough. The answer, if you got it, like an angel at the door, your heart beating you to death. Miss Lonely Heart, the lamb, then a dream, you are a poet. A different one, a brilliant old woman writing long lines. You're in the desert, there's wine. Your quest has no definite nature, but the wheels on wheels, the other world combed out like long, wet hair. And Nina asks what your poems are like. You say, Nina, my poems are little chains. You've never seen anything like my poems. My poems have learned to talk. Thanks.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
What's your name? My name is Bernardo Wade. I was texting with a friend earlier today. And I got some good news, and she was like, you should text your father. And I went, we're not talking right now. And then I paused for a while and I went, but I am writing a poem about it, and this is the poem. All right, this is called After the Earth. With this tripod, with my bashful body still mapping his, I sense the tourist eavesdrop, flinching at every motherfucker out his mouth. All Speedo and spilled cocktail, my pops names me shit like boy and fuck nigga and god damn it, which on a white beach in Jamaica hits different. I can smile. Besides, I'm still a little alien at 11 to how words feel, thinking his shuck and jive reveals a lightness for being more than anything. The salt-licked sunset drifts just right as he bends down, lighting his spliff miraculously fast for how ugly the wind rips around us. Art is apparently just at his fingertips. I toss him a roll of film while he fixes his new Nikon into place. Nothing more matters but to pray all this beauty remains still. And it does. Long enough he coos me over to look through. And I swear, almost 30 years later, our silence is heaviest after the earthquakes in Oakland. The frames on the wall shift, and always I notice this dusk, the one he shared, if only for a moment with me. So I take to angling it just right, making sure the memory of our horizon isn't too crooked. All right, thank you.
I'm Laura Paul, and this poem is called Bird Poem. Make some fucking noise! Bird poem. I'll eat the poem I tried, but it wasn't Kentucky fried, those overstuffed eagles we dine on. We all got fat before we starved. There are so many bird poems in those days to chew. I couldn't swallow, stuffing game hens with letters, like breaths, with the rhythm of a hospital administrator, trying to explain a turnaway because of insurance policies. Such sing-song staccato, controlled, precise, propranolol, coursing through the veins. The voice began to merge between that of the US poets and the hospital administrators and the bank tellers and even the politicians, except of course for those who won. Those who won screamed! It was weird that the poets didn't think that they could also start a punk band and instead commemorated things like Benjamin Franklin's turkeys in the feather shape falling from the trees. I scavenged for a feather to eat, an eagle to stuff with dollar bills. Fresh after falling, its death free fall of a mating dance. I could relate. In fact, I was an eagle. Majestic, white, stupidly choosing a dangerous plummet as a way to attract sex. What else could I do? I needed a bird poem to write. I needed the first-hand experience of watching a country fall into the ground.
What is happening here, y'all? This is great. I'm Stacey Balkin. This is When We Don't Have Power After Ida. Perhaps the world had ended there, alone in my small house, screenless windows all open, panting on the bedroom floor and slapping the mosquitoes into my leg hairs and sweat. My phone charged in the car, and then missing neighbors called and called, evacuees texting me lockbox codes or house keys, worried about the lives they left here in the dark. Angelo lit his grill in the streets, and together we emptied my fridge, then his, then Meg's, then Miss Sylvia's, and a breeze kicked up and everyone on the street gathered and ate chicken thighs and egg rolls and waffles, and the ice cream was already gone, and we shared the bar of good dark chocolate but left the coffee beans alone. No power, no grinder, though the water from the faucet came out hot enough to brew. This wasn't our first blackout together. When the lights go out, we never know how long it will last. I'm trying to tell you that we're used to being let down, left in the dark, and how I know what Joy Harjo said is true. The world will end at a kitchen table while we are laughing or crying or both. I'm also trying to tell you that we don't need power to show up for each other in so many small, sacred ways to share the last sweet bite. Thank you.
Shut up and listen to the poetry.
Oh, yeah, no, it's you. It's you.
It's me, Alicia. Hi, everyone. Hey. Ash Pond 3. The plant plans for it to produce steam power, obfuscatory stacks, cap, in-place sunk expenditure, filed failure to disclose instability issues. The plan, he said, it has a lot of moving parts per dewatering AP3. Hole the water brownlit pit and clouded as a fouled. What's kept wet's what can't breathed, or better yet believed. I saw slow, illuminated flow take, hypotensive, now Cupra slip, coattail can't, touched, eventually carp, initiative. I don't see my mussel shells that I used to see on the sand. I don't hear the frogs at night, singed if what's burned that doesn't rise, if ash rises as incinerated flocculent, compensatory question of the ash. Dead plant, matter answer, the decay, then decommission, calm, air deep scintilla, burial to lake, a leak, esophageal, brack, millefleur, a farmer's lung, the plan to use in anything, the doze, and doesn't move. Adam Clay is here.
Thank you. If there's a next time. Some simple math made me realize I missed a midlife crisis this time around. The men on my father's side don't usually hit 80. This missed opportunity feels like mist turned to snow, back to cloud. It's wild to look back on your own life through the eyes of your young. The old adage, once a father, always a father, isn't quite right. After all, I've known men who resigned their duties to God in writing and out loud in dumb, blinding storms. The indifference of nature is not the same as divine dereliction of duty. Life's what happens when you're busy buying durable goods, putting your affairs in order, paying off that last credit card just in time for your parents to trip walking through a doorway they've passed through thousands of times before. Does anyone still get carried over a threshold into a new life? I walk without thinking, like thinking without thought. Thank you. Ginger Toe.
Hello, thank you. And thank you so much to Henry, Rodrigo, and Sean. You all are the best. Okay. I'm going to read a poem called Message in a Bottle. It's from a book I have coming out next year from Tiffany. Thank you. All right, Message in a Bottle. The heavy gallop of a strong animal, however fluid, is always muscled, slow. I admire them, those whose insides and outsides correspond, seemingly seamlessly, the costumes of aura. I feel captured by the need for your attention, and you yourself are free. You move around, decide for yourself, walk through the trap lines of my covetousness as if they are finish line streamers. In every photo of us, you are flirting with the camera and I am watching you. I work on my love for you when we are separated. Something in me turns to pay attention. We writhe, try to make it more than percussive instinct. Because it requires a partner, we turn it into compliance or collaboration. I try so hard to prove our exchange doesn't create a loss of value, a deduction from the wealth of self. I can't rest, can't understand. If everything knowable is the product of every ensuing moment, then I willingly participate, pile up responsibilities. I come to know someone, then one day I see them behave as a stranger. The world is always turning unreal, I feel, turning unreal. I wish I could hear you think my name. Revelations being disproved by revelations, stacks of once useful truths. I emit to you from the past. You like fantasies where you go back and change me, where we collaborate in a staggered sequence. I create my own superstitions. I receive again and again the ruse, that struggle for unity. I don't make a pact. summons or prayer. I just have this text to call you an eventual pile of dust that I've imbued with my satisfaction. You are the love of my desire, the fuck, the attention, the dream, the unequaled. You want me so much that you shock me. Thank you so much. Welcome, Alex at Barclay.
Inspirational poem. Delivered to the new Smith facility class of 49. Do you have a cigarette area? Nodding out to the Guar documentary. Texas Chainsaw Massacre pinball machine. A French pit bull in the snowy field, whimpering. NVIDIA chip in the Raytheon Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, Everlast trunks all summer. Red-leafed elms in the snowy field, whimpering. Quickcrete 5000 concrete mix for the Circle Drive. Inchurion bar and tavern insurance for the patio. AZ patio 38-inch portable outdoor tabletop heater for the patio. I came here to have a lot of blood sprayed on my face. Do you have Anne's cigarette? You're gonna have to hold me down if you want to clip my nails in the snowy field, whimpering. Rachel Zadig.
Reality's direction. To draw the tower, wreathed in a circlet of putrid lightning. That monstrous talon inches closer to the ignition. La fin absolue du monde. This poem is not hopeful. Existence of megafauna. Warm planets whipped into a frenzy of cosmic nihilism. The damage to the brain was catastrophic. A rotting oyster in its dumb shell. Striated photons. A series of praying mantises cut short by the cat's indifferent paw. This sickness is passed down through generations. Pleasure of a ripened olive in a bloody mouth. Pliant neck of the goose, all futile. Thank you. Sid Galicia.
First time I met Rodrigo, I was at Bar Tonique. I was in third semester of MFA. I was writing a villanelle. I'm reading a villanelle tonight. I'm sitting there, knocking it out. And he's like, I don't know who he is, no idea. You're writing a villanelle? Yeah, let me see. Kind of asked, takes stanza 1 and 2, they're getting there. Go back to stanza 3, I gotta go, give me your email. A week later, Splice email. I was like, okay, let's go. So I've been so thankful for all of this. This is an ode to Billy Collins and my high school students, which is why I have my wireless headphones, my Miles Morales backpack, and I'm reading it on my phone. This is an ode to his introduction to poetry and understanding that connection to students' poems. Anyway, I hear Billy Collins calling me. I hear Billy Collins calling me as my 3 a.m. and then 3:30 a.m. and then 4 a.m. alarms ring. We are beaten with a hose by the state's look, grade book, and scores for the leap. I want my students to wonder about the ghost of Banquo's favorite energy drink. If not Jordan's, what kind of sneakers slap Thibault's feet? I hear Billy Collins calling me. We had a whole 2-hour PD on the new rubric for schools' grades in New Orleans. Basic is not the base of it anymore, only advanced and mastery. We are beaten with a hose by the state's look, grade book, and scores for the leap. If a witch's prophecy from Dusanane drops a mouse into a poem, is there a guarantee that my future students' sons will be kings? I hear Billy Collins calling me. If ice crawls into a forest, do we hear Titania scream when her adopted Indian babe is dragged through the trees? We are beaten with a hose by the state's look, grade book, and scores for the leap. To be or not to be a teacher whose data points are growth proving? That is the question. Whether the mouse from stanza 4 is still probing? I hear Billy Collins calling me as we are beaten with a hose by the state's look, grade book,
and scores for the lead.
Classic Ian. Sky. What's up, Sky Jackson? I know she's here. Emergency exits from the left to the right if the house burns down.
Hey y'all, so good to see you. I'm really happy that I made it on time for once in my life. I'm gonna read you guys a new poem. New shit. Room service. It's as though you ordered me up like room service. Hey. Tall, slim, thick braids, all breasts and long legs. I flew to New York to see you again. To meet you at the Hotel Empire in honor of Chuck Bass, despite my boyfriend, despite your wife. She'd never know how closely you listened to her, honored the arrangement you both set. How you chased me down ragged through the streets to make me yours. In bed we'd fuck and I'd delude myself into thinking, yes, love, when it was anything but. Why did my mind, this steel trap heart, trick me into delusion? Damn my Pisces moon to hell and back. A curse to be a lover who wants to be loved. Maybe it was the night we spent in that sushi restaurant by Lincoln Center that did it. Losing track of time, laughing so hard, never noticing that the restaurant closed around us. Or the things we had in common, neither of our mothers, yours in France or mine in New Orleans, brave enough to fly on planes. Or how we spent that night in bed watching Sister Act 2 like we'd known each other all our lives. Yes, I'm not ashamed to say that I sang Oh Happy Day in that sin bed and meant that shit when I looked at you. When I wondered what we could have been if other people hadn't anchored us down in familiar waters. Years later, out of curiosity, or perhaps a poetic need to suffer, I pull up your Instagram page. See the baby my psychic predicted would come soon. Think of how heavy everything felt when I told you so. I see your wife, graceful in that tender beauty of new motherhood, you beaming with both your bass guitar and son balanced on your knee, a metaphor so perfect it pains me to write it. And I think of the first hotel room we found ourselves in, when I asked you to show her to me, and you did, when I asked you why you brought me there, when I got up to leave, but the door seemed so far away, and your arms, warm shores, I wanted so badly to reach, already to stay in forever. And you said, because I want you to stay, I want you. And I wanted to believe you, and I wanted, so I stayed, because room service does not get to decide when to leave. I think of our last meeting, how you told me that it was my duty to tell our story, and now I wonder what you would think of the lies I had to tell to do it. Thank you.
I'm Jay Spurgeon. Yes. Yay. This is a poem called Hammer Space. We'll say, let's call it what it is, communism. This is a poem. This is a test. This is a rabbit hole. A teething network of run. This isn't right. There's not supposed to be rabbits in this hat. This is backwards. This is a mistake. This is a poem.
Fuck yeah!
This is a rabbit hole. And an auspicious sign. This is upside down. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. This is a rattling chain of keys. This is marriage. This is a dwelling in the evening air in which being there together is This is serious. This is a joke. This is the shaggy part of the shaggy dog of a shaggy dog joke. Let's dwell there. This is the punchline. This is the punching bag filled with rubbered hammers, which I ordered from Amazon. It was a large box of rubber hammers containing all these rubber hammers and your new small press poetry collection. This is a mess and I will clean it up. This was supposed to be a poem. This was supposed to be a poem. Emily Park Brown, I will clean it up.
Hi. Oh my God, you all look so good. You're so good looking. I can't stand it. All right, I have a poem. I'm Emily, hi. Small gold cloud. I am a clod with no cleavage. No cleaving from me. No cleaving from myself no more. No more leaving me. Listen, everyone. I can't take even one more small betrayal. Considering wigs to no avail, I am sick of myself. I want a beau travail, a trial. I've taken to zipping myself up for fun. I'm over-treading carefully. I'm shredding. I'm forgetting. I'm not letting myself be down. I'm worried my stitches have splits. I'm spitting my words out with a sibilant S. I'm sorry. I'm stupid, I started to say. I'm ass out, bottom feeding. I'm baby bidet. I bought vegan marshmallows for the fire. And everyone babies me like a sweetie, like a pie, a blushing pie, a toasted pop-over pop-up, sleepover. I'm a sucker for anything girly and sweet. I'm posting a pic to my stories because I looked so cute in my baby's hat. I'm back, baby. Baby's back. Thanks. All right, Leah, come close us out.
All right. Thank you, Sean, Henry, Rodrigo. Everybody who's left their residual trace here at Splice Reading Series at Saturn Bar. All right. I thank you. That seemed very official. Thank you. So the individual becomes the residue of the dissolution. Massive, catastrophic, aster cluster in the inmost, the blue curtain should be drawn back again and again. We think to leave it, the lush and its lousy rattle and its cruel erotica speckling the linoleum, yet drawing toward that hot sleep until it is emptied onto Bourbon Street, touched with smoke and birds of paradise, girls shaking a green tambourine up the windows. Yeah.
That's it. What you got to say? What you got to say, Rodrigo?
It's just starting. I really want to thank everybody who ever made it out to Splice. All are fantastic readers. The entire community in different cities who've come out, and everybody here who's here from the New Orleans Poetry Festival. We love you. We're so glad to see you.
Your turn or my turn? I'll take it. It always. I mean, we still are alive, Bernardo. It's really, it is whatever, sad, weep, whatever. I mean, it's a reading series, but we did a good job, and I love you guys. I love you guys and everyone that's ever come out. The audience really was what made it happen. The readers what made it happen. It's really a wonderful, wonderful thing. And yeah, it's just getting started. This is just popping off, and thank you all for coming, and thank you for the wonderful, wonderful readers.
Oh yeah. I'll do it like all the great New Orleans musicians do it. That's it. No shit. We quit.
Everybody come up for a picture. Everybody come up for a picture. That's all we ask. And then do what you want.